I don't date men anymore. I don't see them as people.
I don't believe that they should even be allowed to vote. I feel there should be a program
They start off in jail.
Yes, like start off in jail. Start off with no rights. You actually get none. And then you can earn them. Then a woman can say, you know what? Like, he should be allowed to maybe vote.
I actually agree with all of that, only if it was applied to Black people.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. We are building something real here. Free, unrestrained conversations and content that contend with the real issues. If you want to help us keep that going, feel free to buy the FroJax Brothers a coffee over at our Buy Me a Coffee link, or you can send some support to our Rumble crypto wallet. Every bit helps, and this helps us stay independent and deliver to you as much value as possible.
And while you guys are supporting the mission, make sure to check out FroJax.net to see our merch designs that are dropping weekly. Here you can read more about who we are, check out some of our original music, and grab one of our high-quality clothing items to represent the movement. And when you're there, make sure to sign up for our email list for exclusive discounts and future announcements.
If you want to hang out with us live, ask questions, debate, or just hang out with the community, we go live on Rumble at least 3 times a week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to follow us on X and Instagram to stay up to date for our live stream announcements.
All of our links are available right there in the description below. We appreciate you guys being part of the team. God bless you and God bless America. Here you can read about who we are, check out some of our original music. Forrest. You can read more about who we are, check out some of our original music, and collect one of our new
Collect one of our action figures. Get a little Jackson bobblehead.
All right, we're gonna start you guys off with everybody's favorite here. I got a Candace Owens clip.
Ugh.
Sense that they had multiple Tyler Robinson lookalikes that day. That's why the footage is grainy. And it's just impossible that all this footage is going to be grainy, okay? I think there were multiple Tyler Robinson lookalikes, and they were wearing maroon shirts and wearing hats and wearing what they were supposed to wear, and they're never going to show us a clear picture of Tyler Robinson because it's very easy to find a Tyler Robinson lookalike and to blur it. That is my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you give an African female a mic.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of cute. Like, we should have women like that baking bread, but not speaking on politics, though.
Yeah, you guys are really anti e-girl. I saw your one video where you kind of making your case against it. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I hate simps, don't get me wrong, and I don't really understand who would go to a woman to get their political takes from. Mm-hmm. But you also can't argue with like that they get numbers. You know, when you look at somebody like Lily Gaddis or Leonardo Joni, I feel like I would have to stop short of telling them to like stop. You know, I just feel like
they do get numbers. You're right about that part.
The only problem, though, is that all they do is regurgitate the talking points that smarter men have come up with. And it's that, and then also they don't have to suffer for any of their points of view, right? Like, can we really name that many females that have had to suffer for their political convictions? I mean, it's kind of a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Like, women are influential and they get a lot of eyes, but I sort of feel like the woman influencer thing is a form of a limited hangout, because really what they're doing is appropriating it with sexuality, and that kind of distracts the men from actually understanding the message of what's going on politically. So I think the good thing to draw from it is that women hopping on board for the bandwagon is an indication that we are winning politically. But women should not be taken seriously, though, in any capacity, in my opinion.
Someone said Leonardo's pretty good, and she would be sort of an exception because she's not overly sexualized and she has kind of like a masculine presence. We tend to sort of like her. She might be the only funny female comedian we've ever seen, by the way. But yeah, like Jackson was saying, sort of the fundamental basis of what we believe is pro-white, right? We believe in white collectivization. And part of that is white people, instead of being anti-things, they're being pro-something. And part of being pro-something is being the best you can of that thing. I want to be the best white person I can be. And a big part of that is not gooning and simping. And when I'm scrolling through, you know, IG and I see an Adolf reel with some chick with her breasts out, it really just sort of disgusts me. And I understand that she gets maybe the message out more, but that isn't really the message, is it? The message isn't tits. The message is collectivization, and women aren't really capable of that. So I do agree that they get numbers, and I do agree that they probably push the Overton window in the same way that people like a Gypsy Crusader do with their sort of shock jock antics. There's some value in that, but generally speaking, we do tend to reject the female e-girl. I mean, it's not that no women ever have valid opinions, but if they have their breasts out, men aren't really there for their opinions.
Yeah, they should just bake bread, you know? That's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we had Thomas Russo on last week, and this sort of came up, this idea of like, you know, like society is so messed up. It's like, so because obviously like guys would not be like simping and watching an e-girl and being like, wow, she's so pretty if things were properly ordered.
Exactly.
But we're like so far from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so many like things that need to adjust socially to where that phenomenon wouldn't exist, that it's almost inconceivable. We were talking about this in the context of that show Euphoria being really popular and degenerate and the same kind of thing. And it's like, look, you have this top down question of who is pushing that stuff on society, but you also have the problem that people want that at this point. People have gotten accustomed, acclimated to that. Same with like e-girls, kind of, you know what I mean? And so it's like just telling people don't do that, like it doesn't really accomplish anything. So so it's I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm saying it's like a tough one. It's a tough one.
Well, like
hopefully a simp will hear this and be like, you know what, they're right, and stop. And
well,
then,
like you said, in a society that's properly ordered, that wouldn't really even be a feature of reality. So I think sort of what I say is, you scroll on it, scoot past it, don't pay it any mind, and then once men reclaim America, women will sort of just fall into place naturally. Because what they're doing right now is just that. They're falling into what they think is their rightful place, which is basically internet harlots. But once men reclaim power, that will sort of rectify itself.
You could also say the same thing about the racial demographics. We've fallen into this deep abyss of mixing and illegal immigrants and black people being degenerate and Jewish organizations pushing degeneracy through music, through media, etc. And we could look at that through the same sort of defeatist paradigm and say, well, it's a really far-fetched idea to try to correct that. But I think that we have to be extremely ambitious. And I think that part of that ambition will be reinforcing traditional elements like shame or taboo. Women should not feel empowered to act the way that they are currently acting. I mean, human civilization shamed women for being excessively promiscuous forever. It's only this recent time in history, with probably a few exceptions, but really only this like post-industrialization time in history where we even allow women to do this. And so I think it's also a racial thing. It really is pinpointed on the psychology of the white woman. White women are conditioned so aggressively to be promiscuous, to see men as sources to extract resources from. And I think that people sort of misperceive us and think that we are anti-woman. No, I want to see women liberated from the chains of modernity and be put back into a place which is more in alignment with natural law, where men and women can come together. I mean, just to clarify, my brother and I aren't really manosphere guys. We're not anti-woman. We are pro-natural law. And we want to see men stepping up to the plate, and we want to see women encouraged to be in a more feminine role just as equally. So I agree with you. It's going to take a lot of time and effort to get there, but I don't think it's impossible. I still believe we can do it.
I think we hold the true feminist position. That's what I think.
Based. I love it. Just to touch briefly, I do got more clips I want to get to, but briefly on what Candace was saying there. This is kind of a sticky topic because you got, you know, the whole Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson thing. She's saying there's a bunch of lookalikes. What are your guys' thoughts? Personally, I think Candace is probably wrong, but
yeah,
again, it's part of the reason it's a sensitive topic is because, you know, if you say, well, Tyler Robinson acted alone and he killed Charlie Kirk and that's it, and that, people get really mad at you. And there is some reason, you know, like there was like a motive for bigger powers to be involved in the killing of Charlie Kirk. So
what is the latest on it? Has any new stuff come out? I haven't been following it, but I know she's been going off on it for months.
I watch Candace Owens. She is like hardcore hell bent on, you know, that there is some wider conspiracy. And I guess I find that counterproductive,
Yeah.
even if even if I'm open to people asking questions and stuff like that. I just think it's sort of like entertainment more than
Yeah.
anything
It's
real.
reality
Like,
TV.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
happens. That's what happens when you allow women to enter the political realm. They turn it into a reality television program. I mean, look,
True.
I don't want to be super mean about it, but I mean, she's kind of retarded. I mean, are we really still going down this endless rabbit hole of everything is a conspiracy? It's like, look, I would simplify my position to say it's one of two things. It's either a deranged libtard leftist who got radicalized in some sort of social media echo chamber and wanted to go out and take down this guy who he thought was like the Antichrist, right? Or it's, it's some sort of thing going on behind the scenes. I think it's really one or the other. I think the whole lone gunman theory is a really played out thing throughout history. We've seen that multiple times, and it's very hard to believe that as an American. So initially I sort of lean towards the latter, but it really could be either or. I mean, there are an abundance of leftists who are radicalized and have violent tendencies towards people they deem to be right wing, whatever that even means anymore. So it could be that, but I kind of agree with you. Like, I don't know what the utility is in endlessly being conspiratorial about the whole thing. I mean, what do you think?
Well, to me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think whoever's actually really, what's the term, responsible for this shouldn't be held accountable. I do believe that. But the assassination of Charlie Kirk to me just represents sort of a larger symbolism, which is that a straight white man has no business in this society speaking things that are really just true. I mean, people consider him a right-wing person. He was a libertarian at best. I mean, he was pro-gay marriage. He wasn't a right-winger, very moderate. And what people see him as is a straight white man, Christian on there too. And one thing that Jackson and I both believe is that many of the things that we see that are wrong in our society now are a direct result of an inversion of this natural order. The straight white man is placed at the bottom. We saw that through wokeism, and we thought that that was sort of a flash in the pan cultural movement of a bunch of sort of rebellious blue-haired people. No. It's downstream of something much deeper, a much sicker societal problem that we could say is spiritual, we could say is tribal, whatever you want to correspond that source to. But really, to me, the assassination of Charlie Kirk just sort of shows what happens when a straight white man reaches a level of status that is contrary to many of these, anti-hierarchical belief systems. So again, all of the leftism, all the Marxism, the communist rhetoric, it's flattening of natural hierarchies. And if we look at hierarchies, we see them between individuals and we see them between groups. So we want to account for group disparities by flattening hierarchies. And if straight white men find themselves at the top of many hierarchies, it's going to be flattened with force by radical leftists. I do think I would probably, if I had to bet my life on it, I would say it was most likely a radical leftist, because the left, again, back to the inversion hypothesis, the left are exactly that which they accuse us of being. They think Nazis are these evil, hateful, violent. No, it's the Bolsheviks. It's the leftist revolutionary types. So I do think, and that guy that tried to assassinate Trump, same thing. He was some leftist retard that thinks Trump is like Adolf, it's just not even grounded in reality. So I think it all speaks to the same thing.
We'll come back to the Trump thing.
Yeah.
I got a clip about that, but I agree with you. It's just weird when they're actually competent. That, like, the Trump thing, you see that you're like, yeah, that tracks. He's a total fuck up. He tried to do something, but when they actually are successful, you're like, hold on. But hold that thought. Let's go to the next clip here, or we're never going to make progress.
Conservatives are dumb. And they come to the wrong conclusion, and they come to a very self-serving conclusion, which is that anyone who isn't, Daily Wire or Matt Walsh or what have you, anyone who isn't in a movement conservative is somehow a puppet, and the people pulling the strings are, graduates.
This is just so you know, this is in the context of the SPLC indictment they're talking about right now.
Graduates of Yale University, the military-industrial complex, so the SPLC, the deep state, etc. And it's all fake and a sham. The fact is, this indictment does not even suggest that. And it's just a very self-serving thing for conservatives to now say, oh, I knew it was a hoax or something. Charlottesville, I mean, again, it's a complicated matter. Charlottesville was not a hoax.
I agree.
All right. I've talked a lot about the SPLC thing. So what do you guys think about it?
I think it's not a surprise at all that Zionist leftist advocacy groups have begun to infiltrate the right wing with counterintelligence. I don't think that's unique at all. I mean, we see that with actual intelligence agencies. I was happy to see that none of our guys over at Patriot Front, who we seem to endorse and like a lot, were named in any of the indictments. So that was good to see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know all of what was released there. I think the SPLC got sued on 11 counts of wire fraud and a series of other things because they were funding, was it $3 million over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my response would be, look, the SPLC, the ADL, this is what they do. This is what Jews do. They infiltrate, they subvert, and they try to divide and conquer. And they have become quite successful at it. But part of exposing that will be people from a different part of the right wing beginning to gain political power. Because a lot of conservatives and a lot of Republicans, and I tend to agree with Richard Spencer on a lot of things, but a lot of these Republican types are weak. They claim to be right-wing, they claim to be traditionalists, but when it really comes down to it, they're just moderates. They are liberals that drive the speed limit. And anytime there's some sort of true nationalist sentiment or an ethnocentric idea being put into the air, then they get really scared because they don't want to contend with the reality of power, of politics. And that's going to encompass white people having a racial consciousness. And that is an element that, conservatives and Republicans up to this point have completely dismissed and been, rejecting of. So I think there's a little bit of that going on as well. And then also, like he said, Patriot Front was and is vindicated to this day. So, yes.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Richard Spencer, too.
Yeah. Trump said that MAGA is a center-left movement, which might be one of the most accurate things he's ever said, actually.
Yeah, yes.
Conservatism is just homosexual at this point.
Yes.
Reality is that putting America first is very important.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the reality is this an alliance with Israel puts America first.
Yeah, that's your position. I think the problem is that the polling is so bad.
That's my position.
For Trump personally, the approval rating is crashing, and the
we have to change that. That's why I joined the Republican Party, to help that.
Well, maybe they'll see you as the unlikely savior of the Republican Party, Alan, which would be most entertaining.
Not a savior, but somebody who at least wants to put a little bit of his thumb on the scale.
Yeah.
The pterodactyl phenotype. My God, that is a beastly human.
It was unsightly.
It's just so in your face, It's you got Alan Dershowitz being like, "Oh, I'm a Republican now," because all the leftists, there's like more anti-Semitism in the Democrats right now. Yeah. They don't really know why they're anti-Semitic, or they're in denial about it or whatever, but they're more vocal.
Yeah.
And
so in other words, he doesn't believe anything. He only just is with whoever's more pro-Jewish. That's all that means.
Pro-Israel, yeah. And I mean, and they straight up tell you too, like they don't, he's just like, yeah, I'm here for Israel.
Which is precisely what white people need to start doing now too.
Yep.
Right. All right. Next one.
Ó, já piraram o cu de mais de 80 quilos no túnel, galera. E bora botar uma coisa que tá no lugar aí, galera. Ó.
Erro, né? Eu acho que vai dar errado. Foi pouco óleo, doido.
Pouco óleo, tá doido?
Tem que ser 80 quilos, pô.
Não, 80 quilos?
80 litros.
Não.
So I don't know exactly where this is. It's got like kind of like a Philippine, like or Malaysian vibe, or I don't know.
Go. Whatever it is, it's got to go.
Yeah. Well, it's very Indian. I don't think they're Indian, but it's very like Indian coded. The way he's like trying to act super cool.
It's got
like
a
look at me
Dravidian
slash
vibe.
these oil bottles open. I'm so fast. You know what I mean?
Is that
but
oil contained in a glass bottle? That's kind of weird too.
I'm pretty sure it's plastic.
Oh no! So he's
pretty
cooking
sure
plastic.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So you can see it like because he's like slicing through it with his knife there, and then you can see it.
Oh, I thought it was shattering.
Yeah.
It's melting.
Acabou danado, rapaz, ó.
And it's almost like would it really be that much slower to just unscrew it?
No.
And pour them in there?
Listen, it's a simple answer that we have for everything, LP. It's total remigration. You know, 5 syllables. No, it's 6 syllables.
They are distinct and they cannot integrate. But you know, they can do this, whatever this is, they can do that over there.
That's on his island. He's chilling there as far as I'm concerned.
They can stay over there and have fun with their bottles, and that's okay, you know.
Yeah, they shouldn't have the cell phone technology to even be recording this either. Like there's something off-putting about, you know, tribes people with advanced technology. It's like we violated the Prime Directive. We've given
it's sort of like when you see plastic straws in the ocean, you know? It's like the industry mixed with nature. It just feels off, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oxe,
He's gonna throw that fish.
acerta a pancada, ô, mano. Batendo errado. Vira na paz, é aquela lá.
I cut it down a lot, but then they go and they dig all the plastic bottles out. Like
no.
All right, Chud the Builder. Speaking of provocative guys, this is like another up and comer on the scene. I'll play this clip and then I'll hear what your guys' thoughts are on this type of in your face activism.
No right to record. I don't need to ask you if I can exercise my freedom.
You're not gonna tell us you can't record anybody.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Y'all got to learn the law.
No, well,
y'all got to learn the law.
If somebody
don't walk up on me. Stay right there.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Walk anywhere in public.
Keep coming up.
You're going to punch me? Walk anywhere in public.
I'm going to mace your ass real quick.
Mace? Oh, is that all? So you
Homie's fearless.
I'll spray the shit out you, yeah.
I would rather you punch me in my face.
Just learn how to act, bro.
Learn how to act. Learn how to ask. Learn how to ask.
Why are you acting like a right now?
Acting like a what?
You heard me. Sit down.
Oh, sit down. If I stand up, what's the penalty?
Come on. Look at him.
If I stand up, what's the penalty?
Y'all need to learn how to act.
Don't make it move, man.
Y'all need to learn how. We can record all we want around here.
Record it, brother, man.
Come on. Come chimp over here.
I want to start by acknowledging that the black guy pronounced ask very well. I'm impressed by that. I will say, Chud the Builder, something about I like him. Jackson and I, that's not our style. We don't endorse going out and instigating. It does feel like a lot of the time he instigates these things, though he's infamous, he's a known figure, so he probably gets approached a lot more than he does approaching. However, I will say, I kind of like white people doing whatever the fuck they want now. I really sort of like that vibe because, to be fair, he's acting well within his rights, and white people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to act within their rights, let alone speak out like he is. So I do like that. I did see this thing. Was that real? Where he's doing the Aiden Ross? I don't like all that stuff. I don't like doing the goy slop stuff, but I do tend to like him.
Oh, I love the box. I don't think that's happening, but I would be happy.
Yeah, I would second that.
Into my veins, give me that goy slop. Let me watch that. No, I agree. I like him. I wouldn't do it myself. And to what you're saying about white people doing what they want and being within their rights, you're absolutely right. There is a sense, and you hear it in the way people talk about him specifically, is that like he deserves to have like some extreme violence enacted on him.
Right.
And right. So, and the people, they believe that, they justify that in their minds because like he's being rude or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, actually, like you shouldn't get killed because somebody thought you were rude.
Right.
Actually, yeah.
Right. Black people say, oh, well, that doesn't, you can say what you want, but that doesn't freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequence. So in other words, all that means is you're free to say whatever you want, which is protected by the amendment, the legal amendments, the constitutional amendments that our forefathers wrote and had foresight to create. But if I say something using that amendment that you benefit from too, by the way, then you can violate my personal space and actually break a law against me. It's yet again another double standard. It's just constant double standards.
Yeah, my brother and I, we definitely try to take a more sophisticated approach with some of our more long form content. But I also recognize the importance of this because what it does is continues to expand the Overton window. And like he said, we've reached an impasse where white people need to just adopt this mindset. Forget about the taboo, forget about the lies, forget about the ists and isms, the racist, supremacist. No. You're white. This is your country. You can say what you want to say. Now, I don't think that the average normal person should go around, like he said, instigating.
Right.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
No.
Do not ever do that.
Don't break the law.
Be a productive, contributing member to society. But stuff like this, it's like, dude, like he said, the double standard is blatantly clear. So white people can say what they want to say, and we're going to.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't counter signal it. Basically, don't do it necessarily. Well, keep that in mind because we're going to come back to another clip about this kid who got visited by the FBI. But we'll come back to that. You get like a ban from
Chip over here.
He did. That's what I saw. Yeah.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
This is a very difficult case because you do have some empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding that his property had been broken into. The testimony looks like at least twice prior to this incident.
Yeah, so this is an ongoing case. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. This guy, he had these black teens had broken into his garage like multiple times in the span of like a couple months or whatever. And so like the third time they were doing it, he got a gun and he went and he chased them and shot at them. And now they're trying to throw this white guy in jail for years because he shot at these robbers on his property. And the judge here, she's like, well, you feel for the guy a little bit because he kept getting robbed, but then she's going to go on to like throw the book at him here in a sec.
Yeah,
and there could have certainly been some real fear.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I agree with the caption. It's simple and to the point. Women don't belong in positions of power. That's true. We've given women freedom. We've given black people freedom. We've given brown people freedom. Everybody has rights now. And look at our society. Things like this are just happening like it's a normal occasion. It is insanity. We have to reverse all of this because otherwise we're just going to be having this happening like it's a normal occurrence now. We're seeing this. I see a news story like this about some black person or some third world scoundrel doing something to a white person and then the judge letting them off. Oftentimes the judge is either a female or like some ambiguous race that I don't even want to try to figure out what category they belong to. I don't care. It's just like, I don't mean to sound so narrow-minded about the whole thing, but it's like, I'm so tired of it. I agree. Women should not be judges. They should not be making important decisions. Otherwise, we have situations like this where innocent people's lives are put into danger. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that evening, but the court also notes that the law does not allow you to use deadly force to protect your property. In this particular case, it was a detached garage. The defendant in this case put himself in the situation. The self-defense argument becomes more difficult when the video shows and the evidence shows that he shot.
You see them running away and he's shooting at them there. And basically there's like this little technical aspect of the law that you can't shoot them if they're running away.
Yeah,
right?
if their back's turned. Yeah, that's an iffy one. Frankly, those men shouldn't be in the country to begin with, though if we are following the law, he's probably technically in the wrong there. But I side with the white guy.
Yeah.
Into the garage blindly twice before any of the people, the burglars or the people inside exited. The video, the evidence that being the video clearly shows that he was shooting at the people who were inside in the garage, the people who were attempting to burgle the garage. He was shooting at them as they were running away. So that in and of itself is certainly probable cause to show that he did intend great bodily harm.
Oof.
Yeah, intending great bodily harm on criminals is based. Where's the problem? Where's the problem? I'm of the opinion that you should be able to defend your property with lethal force.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, there's got to be some sort of, it's like, again, it's this thing where it's like really like if you're talking about a bunch of white men making wisdom calls, then that's reasonable. But when you have this weird mix of everybody and there's all these low IQ people and that's a different story altogether.
It's not going to work for much longer. You're in Canada, right, LP?
No, I'm in Washington. I'm an American citizen.
Oh, nice.
I am Canadian though originally, but I married an American woman and moved here.
Good for you. Congratulations. You got out of India.
You assimilated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you assimilated immediately. That's funny how that works.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that we need a third testament because the Bible has become problematic. Slaves, obey your masters as you do the Lord. It's a text. Let the women keep silent in the churches, and if they have any questions, let them ask their husbands at home.
I'm just realizing there's a recurring theme here, and I didn't plan it, but I feel like I figured out one of the problems, and it's women.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, let's let a brown woman tell us what the Bible should say. That sounds like it'll work great.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, the Bible's pretty clear that women are not supposed to be religious leaders. They're not supposed to be teachers of spiritual matters. And now you got a woman up there being like, well, we need a new Bible. It's like, damn, that's ambitious.
Yeah, either follow the Bible or don't follow the Bible. Don't try to make a new Bible because it doesn't fit your gay, Marxist doctrine.
Based, exactly.
Now, I'm a believer. My whole heart, I trust God with my whole heart. I wake up in the morning talking to God and God talking to me.
Yeah.
But I am completely frustrated with the ways in which the text speaks to the kind of vitriolic God that makes those kinds of things. And people will say, well, it's in the book. And I said, then we need to pour that page out.
Goddamn. That's what I'm saying.
And they say, well, you can't do it. It's the word of God. I said, no, it's words about God. Come on now. But is it the word of God? No, it is not the word of God.
Wow. She's got to get deported.
She's got that like that really uppity, like uptight body language. Like when a woman got banged once, really good, but the guy never called her back, and she's just like,
and she's married now, but she thinks about it all the time.
Yeah, she's got that like weird, really weird body language, And why are you talking about the Bible?
Who she reminds me of now that you say that is Will Smith's wife.
Oh,
kind of
the short hair and
that same attitude.
Yeah. Yes, Jada, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what we got here.
One way or the other, this Charlie Kirk, even though he was good to the Jews, good to Israel, he had good values. He was a preacher of Christianity, a missionary. He affected the life of millions of people to be faithful Christians, which is a cult of idol worshippers. Well, as long as the Goyim follow this, that's their problem. The problem is that he had a lot of Jewish fans. And a lot of these Jewish fans are either stupid or ignorant. So it's very easy to manipulate them. When they see someone speak highly about the Jews or highly about Israel, immediately this person becomes their guru. Let's follow him. He's so talented, he's brilliant, he's great, he's anti-Hamas, he's anti-this. So every Jew has some values or look for some values, and he's on social media. Who is going to become his rabbi? Charlie Kirk.
He's right.
And while he turns him into a person who follows more values and religion, which religion he's gonna make him follow? An idol worshipper's religion, Christianity. So that could be, of course, I'm not ashamed. I cannot speak for him, and I'm not his lawyer to explain his opinions and his actions. But I do know Torah. We learn Torah. We learn the principles. And we do know that following and worshipping any idol
like a
in the
newborn
world,
baby.
you are subject to a death penalty.
Yeah, well, look, he's right. He's 100% right. See, many of them tell you very brazenly what they think of you. If you're a Christian out there, that's what they think. A lot of them think you're a fool, you know?
110.
Yeah, 110, baby.
It's time.
And that facial expression he was making, what the heck? My God.
Yeah.
His face was like inverting on
It's like
itself.
blinded, like he's like a blinded newborn baby bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys where are you on the whole Christianity thing? Are you
We're deists.
Christians?
We're more deists.
We're deists. We think that contemporary universalism has been weaponized to subvert white people into giving up their nations. We are not anti-Christian. We think there's a lot of good Christians out there, and we also recognize our deeply cultural Christian roots as Americans. But this problem of Christian universalism is really it's a big piece of baggage on our people.
And a lot of these Jays want to use that against you.
Yes.
But people like Corey Mahler, who we like a lot, by the way, he has a different way of interpreting the Bible, and it's a little bit cleaner in my opinion. I mean, I can't co-sign it. I'm not a Christian per se myself, but
I can.
Yeah. Are you a Lutheran?
I'm not a Lutheran. I'm like non-denominational. I don't feel like the need to put that kind of label on myself, but I love Stone Choir. I love Corey.
He's great. He's great.
Nice.
Very smart too.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys aren't like not to like but you guys aren't like, oh, this is like all a psyop and
I think we see the elements that they're pointing to as something to acknowledge, because I think that there are elements of it that have been subverted. But I'm not one to like, I don't like the term Christ cuck. I think that's disrespectful. I interpret religion in the same way that I interpret art or music. I think that the way we express them are downstream. So I look at European Christianity and I see whiteness. I see things that I like. I don't care if Jesus was a Jew. He's sort of he exists as a myth, as a figure, as a symbol, as an abstraction. And I totally appreciate and respect people's admiration and worship of that figure. And who knows, maybe one day I'll become a Christian. I don't know. But I tried for a long time. I'm not personally sold on it, but I don't like condemning it or being like, oh, you're just a shill psyop. I think that a lot of those people who we like, some of them, they do come at it from a place of anti something rather than pro something, because we have to be inclusive of all traditionally European religions if we're going to unify white people. And ultimately, we are people first. We're race first. So if we're going to be race first, that has to include different, manifestations of our racial consciousness, which Christianity and honestly paganism, I think we can throw in there. And then deism, some secular deism. So I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, we're not interested in disparaging Christianity or Christians for that matter, regardless of what their denomination is. I think a lot of people who become radicalized too quickly tend to fall into that camp. I do think that their criticisms about universalism do ring true, but I'm not convinced that that's exclusively downstream from like the Christian doctrine. I mean, look, there is a lot of truth and a lot of beauty in Christianity. Some of my most favorite people are white Christian people. So there has to be something, in that doctrine that works. But there are certain elements that I'm not sure if are completely downstream from like what is true, authentic Christianity, or if these other elements are like subversion tactics or something like that. Because it's almost like, are we today practicing the same version of Christianity that they were practicing during the Crusades? It's almost like a completely different religion if you think about it. We're almost practicing like a liberal religion in a way. Whereas, people throughout time, they were always more race conscious or putting race first, even if they were Christian, for example. And so I would say I don't want to...
Germany was 96% Christian.
Yes, yes.
Cool. I wasn't trying to put you guys on the spot. I just don't really know. I don't know that much about you, so I just wanted to.
Well, we like this topic, and it is an important one to address. So we try not to isolate Christians, and we also try not to isolate people that are Christian critical either. We're race first.
We're the bridge.
We think that that's primary, and that should be prioritized.
We are the bridge for white people.
I'm the same way. I talk to HT and Adam Green and those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't. It's not like animosity or anything. I just wasn't sure where you guys were coming from.
We talked to Adam Green too, and largely we like him. I do get the sense that he really just hates Christianity, and I don't like starting from a place of anti. Like I said, I like starting from a place of honest inquiry. And if you come to the belief that you're against Christianity, but then again, if he truly is convinced that Christianity is what's holding white people back, then I can sort of see that as justified in his pursuit. But it does kind of come across a little bit like he just wants to hate on Jesus. I don't know.
I'll give you an example. We just spoke to HT earlier today, and it was a good conversation. We spoke to Adam Green as well. Adam Green seems to completely deny the historicity of the existence of Jesus, and I personally don't buy that. But we still had a good conversation with him. But I'll give you an example. I posted a meme today on my story on Instagram, and it spread like wildfire. One half of the meme said, white people without Christianity, and it was like one of the Roman like beautiful architectural buildings. And then on the right it said Christianity without white people, and it was like a sub-Saharan mud hut. And it's like, okay, that's true. I'm not saying that Christianity isn't true. I'm humble enough to concede that possibly Christianity is the answer. I don't know, right? I'm an open-minded person, but it is also true that the racial element has to play into as like a factor there. And unfortunately, a lot of white Christian people don't have the courage to contend with that reality. And part of what we're doing here is trying to show them that, hey, like that's not the only thing that plays into a factor here. Like the racial thing is irrefutable as a white person. So
look at it this way. If Christianity is true, then it is true absent any human's interpretation or understanding of it. Same as mathematics. So you can say 1 + 1 = 2 objectively in reality, absent a conscious observer. But if you were to say, okay, well, here's mathematics in Europe, which looks a lot like, Nikola Tesla or Isaac Newton, and you can say, well, this is what mathematics looks like in sub-Saharan Africa, and it's a dude playing with blocks. Mathematics is a constant universal truth, but our interpretations and understanding of it is sort of downstream from our abilities as people. So I'm open to Christianity having universal truths embedded in it, like a narrative archival system that holds knowledge and truth. Totally open to that. And I'm open to Jesus potentially being my Lord and Savior too. I think that's possible. But I do reject dogmatism. So I think until we can get through the religiosity and dogmatism associated with any religion, let alone Christianity, can we actually have a conversation about universal truths again? But first, we have to prioritize people that are even able to do such a thing. Like, who's going to be left to practice Christianity if white people go away? Africans? Good luck with that.
Yeah. Corey says that all the time. He's like, there's not going to be any shepherds of those. No, I get what you guys are saying. There's a lot of problems. I would never deny that. It's like you said, there's that kind of guy who's like, well, this is, Europe is great because of Christianity. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Have you looked at all the evidence? No, I know exactly what you mean, and I don't disagree at all.
Nietzsche made some good
all I can say in defense is this one thing, which is that, like, if you look at atheists, they tend to be less racially conscious than Christians today. That's kind of one argument that I've come up with to sort of push back against this, because if you look at the polling on support for immigration or support for like race mixing, like interracial marriage, Christians are actually more opposed to that in America than atheists, which is like, I think, one piece of evidence you can point at that says, if it's really Christianity that's the cause, why would, right? And if atheism is like the default state, why would they be more in favor of?
But atheism means you believe there is no God, right? Whereas I don't think that.
Well, I think actually I'm talking about like religiously non-affiliated.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, again, atheism or secularism is often associated with progressivism, which is associated with more leftist leaning. So I think that would probably make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, check out this clip. This one's actually really funny. This cracked me up.
Is again, Jeffrey Epstein.
What a Chad.
Annoying story, isn't it? In so many ways, and kind of infuriating. All right. He beat the system kinda in death. Total monster. I believe it. Yeah, monster. He pled guilty to that horrible, sick stuff. But that doesn't mean that Ghislaine Maxwell is guilty. And there is a hell of a lot of evidence out there that she's innocent, and a hell of a lot of evidence that they railroaded her. Part of a deep state media hysterical plot. And I don't like it. And I don't care if it's unpopular. In fact, I'm kind of really impressed with President Trump right now that he won't be boxed in when it comes to this story.
There's one thing. What is the agenda there?
I think it's to get Ghislaine Maxwell out of jail. I think it's
Yeah, this is just like pro-Trump cope at this point. Like all these people are affiliated with one another. I mean, Ghislaine, however you say that weird ass name, her father was deeply intertwined with the intelligence, communities. I'm pretty sure he was like a former KGB agent or something like that.
Is she ethnically Jewish as well?
Mossad.
He was ethnically
Mossad.
Jewish, was she?
Was he a Mossad agent?
Yeah.
Oh, she's Jewish too.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
she's
just
Jewish. Her dad was
yeah.
Mossad. They make like the history books that they teach in high school.
Maxwell.
There's some weird thing there. But
they're just trying to run cover at this point.
Her dad was Mossad, and her dad like died in like a boating accident. It's like a whole like there's a lot of weird stuff. But like I don't like Trump. He just like seems to love like getting Jews out of jail. Like he's pardoned so many Jews who are like in jail for fraud, and it's like a weird hobby of his.
Did you see how Candace was trying to like advocate for Harvey Weinstein's innocence?
Yeah, that was
odd to me.
When I think about that, I think like a lot of these people, it's like anything for the clicks and the views and to like, oh, Harvey Weinstein, that's so controversial. People are gonna watch, you know what I mean? But it's like
Yeah, it's all just cope. Like this whole political paradigm is on the verge of absolute collapse, and everybody knows it. They're just trying to play cover and juice out as much money as they can until the end. Then the people that really need to rise to power are going to come from the outside. I think that's what's going to happen. But like stuff like that, it's so silly. I almost have to watch it as if it's a comedy show at this point. Like who actually believes this other than like some fat, old, saggy, bald, geriatric boomer in a locker room watching Fox News? Like other than that, who buys this stuff anymore?
Start tweeting free Ghislaine.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen, LP?
Like in regards of like the political system falling apart.
Like
I don't know, but like I'm tuning out of politics more and more every day. I'm just kind of over it. It's like it feels like a distraction that is so. I would love for some massive change to happen. I don't know that that's necessarily. I'll keep supporting anybody who there's not a lot, but anybody who I see is an actual threat to the system. I'm big on Dan Bilzerian right now. He's kind of like I don't know if he's going to get elected, but he's running for Congress in Florida. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That's somebody who I would like endorse, and I'd like to see him get elected. Especially just the message it would send if he got elected would be really amazing. But I'm not I'm not really focused on political solutions at the moment.
Yeah, I hear you. I see the Dan Bilzerian thing as sort of part of the same energetic wave as James Fishback, where they're appealing to the thing that people are starving for, particularly straight white men are starving for, but they're not the end all be all, right? And people are willing to accept sort of the limitations of their abilities within the political system as it currently exists. And Jackson and I are more focused on organizing and sort of collectivizing outside of that legally and non-violently, and sort of looking out for our people rather than trying to infiltrate politics and make a difference that way. Because voting, again, even if we had some sort of like Trump-esque figure that was pro-white and a Caesar, again, if we got 100% of white people votes, that's 57%, and half of them are liberals. So that ain't going to happen. There's no political solution for white people, right? So it either has to crumble and rebuild itself back up, or it's over. Jackson and I are quite optimistic, though.
Yeah, I think the average person, like people watching this, if you're looking for something to do, I think something like joining Patriot Front, if you're a competent white guy, or looking into like the return to the land thing and what Arvel's doing. I think involved. I think that kind of stuff is or any kind of networking, whatever, any kind of like we need more of that organizing. I agree. I'm going to a thing. I'm going to go to a Old Glory Club thing, which I don't know that much about. I'm not necessarily endorsing it, but I'm going to go check it out. And I like to get out there and meet people and network and stuff like that. Go to conferences and stuff like that. I think being obsessed with like, you know, which Republican am I going to back? I feel like that's just not it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes, exactly.
We're accepting less.
You would change about the white community and why?
I ain't gonna lie. I make the white people go through what we went through. Real talk, bro. I'm talking Leatherface. I'm gonna be making couches out of their skin. You feel me? This hoodie, white people. It's gonna be straight Caucasian, 100% Caucasian. If I could take it back then, fuck them. I fuck with some white people though, but hell nah. They put us to too much shit. Never can come back from that, bro.
Did that actually happen? Did anybody ever make a couch out of an African? Did that ever really happen?
No,
That was
it
in
would have
that-
been unsightly.
That was in like that Jordan Peele horror movie or something. I couldn't actually pay attention to that Get Out movie, but I think there was something like that.
Yeah.
That was, you guys watch that one? You big Jordan Peele fans?
Honestly, he did make really good movies. I have to hand that to him, even though it was like subversive.
The first one was
anti-white.
okay.
Yeah,
First one was okay.
Get Out was very good. Look, I can acknowledge.
I didn't like
separate,
it. I didn't like it.
separate the artist. Yeah, okay, all right. You guys are just racist. I can separate the art from the
Yeah,
artist. okay?
yeah.
I think it was okay, but it was
Like for a
obvious.
black guy, it's about as good as it gets as far as cinema goes.
The propagandic nature of the film overshadowed any merit of the art that it would have had. But look, it's like with black people, I mean, you've heard us talk about it before.
Actually,
They
and
get-
I will say this: I didn't hate Sinners. I watched Sinners, and I thought it was like I watchable.
I didn't
thought
see
that
it.
was.
I heard it was awful. I didn't see it though.
Well, it's like with the black thing, it's like they get to live in a first world country. They have access to healthcare. They've been given reparations, like, and they still have the audacity to say shit like this. It's like it's time to move on. Total remigration. These people don't belong here.
No,
it's insane. You know,
Absolutely, totally ungrateful.
yes.
But I can be compelled because I've signed up for the draft. Where have they signed up to have kids?
I think this is a splitting hairs argument.
I think it's not. I think that the idea that my children can be drafted, or I could be drafted even at my age because perhaps I have knowledge which would be useful to the United States military. They could do it in 5 seconds. They could bring me on. They in Ukraine, they draft 60-year-old men. Okay? If they need you, they're going to take you. And you can peel potatoes or whatever it is they need, right? Women do not have to do that. They do not.
All right, so they're debating like women voting and is it fair for women to get the vote and all that. And I had to pause it just because this is like my third time watching it. It's kind of funny the way Andrew Wilson is like, Uncle Sam needs me. Like like the general's gonna be get Andrew Wilson in here. He's the only guy who can sort it out. I like how he dropped that. They might need me because of my special knowledge and talents.
First of all, why even debate with a Bolshevik Jew? This guy Konstantin whatever is a Russian Jew. But I actually saw a video of you.
I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did it because
fair enough.
Constantine is taking down a peg, and that people seem to think Andrew did a pretty reasonable job of that.
Yeah.
So that's.
But and this sort of illustrates the problem I have with modern debate culture. I think a lot of debate is a slave sport, and I don't think it actually gets us anywhere. And I actually saw, I think it was you reacting to this video, and I saw your take, and I was like, yes. Basically what you said, if I understand correctly, was like, this operates from a different paradigm than people like us live in. Like, these two guys are arguing as if men and women should even be equal in the first place, which they shouldn't, which shatters the whole paradigm. So I sort of look at this as like two people still living in this reality that I used to subscribe to now, whereas I'm just like, I don't have to
It's a socially acceptable way to talk about these things. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the physiognomy check. I mean, Konstantin Kisin, he looks like a fruit bat. He looks like a little skinny, like sneaky, and even like Andrew Wilson. He's not in very good shape. He's like an average-looking man, but
he's way better looking.
Yeah, the physiognomy is so much more pleasant to look at. The green eyes and the nice kempt beard, and the Konstantin Kisin, he looks like a white guy, and then something just kind of went wrong,
I really dislike Kissin.
Yeah.
He's
I
up
agree.
there on my most hated influencers or whatever. You guys do debates though, don't you? Don't you guys like you argue?
Sort of.
We do. We like host open Q&As, and then people like spurg out and want to debate us.
Right.
That's usually how it goes.
We don't do the traditional blood sports with like the moderator. I mean, we're open to it, but we don't consider ourselves debaters. We just sort of say what we think. And also debate culture, you've brought this up. It is kind of homosexual. It's like some of these ideas I'm willing to debate about if I don't know. Or if I desire my mind to potentially be changed, but some of these things to us are just sort of not up for debate. Like the total remigration thing, not up for debate. The woman thing, not up for debate. So giving it up for debate is a mistake in a lot of time. Like in this, he's giving it up for debate that women should have some sort of role in society as like political figures. It's just like your first mistake was engaging with a Jew about feminism.
Yeah, that's why I call debate culture a slave sport, because you're sort of conceding at the beginning that the person you're talking to has a viewpoint that is worth anything. It's like, we are white people. Where does debate culture come from? It comes from Greece. It comes from like Athens and Rome and all these great European civilizations. It's like, I don't need to debate a black person about reparations. I don't need to debate a brown person about tariffs or something. And I don't need to debate a woman about equality. All these people just need to be silent. If it weren't for our generosity, they wouldn't even be allowed to participate in debate culture. And look, that sounds extreme to a lot of people who are listening, but it's like, that's really where I am at this point. Like, we're not obligated to reason with people anymore. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I guess the counter argument would be like, if you go out and you do this publicly, that's how you convince people of your worldview or whatever. So I think there is a reason to do it in some cases, but in this particular case, like Andrew, I like Andrew, but he does things in a sort of brand safe way that is not necessarily the most productive, because he is sort of cucking the message in that way, I guess you could say.
You can convince people with your words, or you can convince people with your actions.
Or you can compel people with your actions. I mean, look, you had Charlie Kirk, who was running the circuit as the most moderate debater person ever, and look what they did to him. He's fucking dead. It's like, I don't really think that we can reason with people with discourse. Like, especially people who come from backgrounds of a people that never conceived of the principle of civil discourse. And so I'm not trying to be antagonistic with you. I mean, I agree with you. Temperamentally, I like to be diplomatic and try to connect with people and meet them halfway. But it's like, where are we actually getting with debating anymore? Like, we're only getting worse as a society. I think, like we said before, the answer to all of this is to just simply organize as a people. That's my personal opinion.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sign up for selective service.
Yeah.
They're not compelled and will never be
It's asymmetrical
compelled.
in that way.
They can avoid pregnancy, though, right? And if you're saying that they have a duty to have children.
I'm not saying they have a duty.
But do you have a duty to go fight a war if you get drafted?
Correct.
Oh, okay. And this is fair how? Where do we get to the fairness?
Well, not everything has to look exactly symmetrical, but your argument initially was, where's a privilege that men enjoy? And
the other guy just shows up.
What's his name again?
His physiognomy
He's
looks
just
like
the other guy.
It looks like a melted marshmallow. Or
It looks
something.
like Wallace and Gromit claymation.
No, Constantine. Do I have permission to talk from the Jew?
You said an ice cream cone out in the sun.
You have to admit, he's got a comfy gig. He just kind of shows up.
That's true. True.
women don't. Well, I would argue in a functioning society where we want to reproduce, women end up with the burden of childbearing and child rearing in a way that men don't. I think it's a fairly simple and obvious argument, right?
And yet they're privileged when it comes to custody and divorces. They're privileged when it comes to child support. They're privileged when it comes to alimony. They're privileged when it comes to all of these things. They have every advantage when it comes to having the child. And so it's like,
It's a different argument. Though. What I'm saying is the burden of bearing the child is uniquely with women in the same way that the burden of fighting in war is uniquely with men.
So it's an ontological argument. The nature of woman is to have children. Nature of men is to go to war.
Right. And so...
Then the woman needs to be fulfilling her nature then, right?
Well, my woman is, and so is yours,
Yes,
right?
but most
So
women
I would
aren't.
insist for my woman to have the right to vote on that basis, that she's contributing, frankly, at this point, way more than I am.
Drafting's collective, right?
Yeah.
So then the duty's collective?
Yeah.
Then why isn't childbirth?
Andrew Wilson's very good. I will say he's very good. He's a great debater.
I mean, it's such when you take a step back, it's so weird. Like women make babies, therefore they should get to vote. Like how is that in any way logical? Like, have you ever seen the way women vote, dude?
Dude, look,
You know?
it's a flattening of hierarchies. That's what it is. The woman naturally has to stay home and bear the child. That's how nature's set up. And now we're trying to control for this with societal pressures saying, how do we even the playing field? It's like, you don't even the playing field. The playing field is necessarily unequal, and we have to keep it that way. That is godly. If we're going to call anything godly, it is the preservation of natural order. And if we're going to call anything evil, demonic, or satanic, it is the flattening of natural hierarchy.
Agreed.
I don't understand. You're saying for women to have the right to vote, they must have a duty to bear children.
Yeah, well, if you're saying that there's a duty for men to go to war, and you're saying that the reason that they do is because that's their ontological nature, and the ontological nature of women is to have children, okay, I can concede that argument. But we just ran into a problem then, because if one is collective and then the other is collective, why do I have to fulfill my duty, but they don't have to fulfill theirs?
Well, I never said that I thought it was a collective duty for women to have children. It's...
Do you guys have any thoughts on the fertility crisis thing? It's kind of a big topic, and I don't want to get stuck on it. And
Yeah,
I know you
out
already said like women need to be forced back into the kitchen barefoot in that. But I guess beyond what you've already said, anything specifically and thoughts on that? What's going on with the birth rates?
It's a multivariate attack analysis, or excuse me, a multivariate attack vector that's been weaponized by, I mean, largely Jewish people. But look, people focus on the Jewish thing. There's like a lot of subversion through media that wants to influence white women to race mix, which actually, if you look at the data, white men and women have the lowest likelihood of being in an interracial relationship. So even all the propaganda shows that white people still have the highest level of genetic in-group preference, which is a good thing. And that's also indicative of who we are. So that's part of it. I mean, there's a lot of propaganda going on as well. There's also the fact that we live in post-industrialized society. So there's a trade-off where people can favor a more cosmopolitan lifestyle where instead of bearing children and having the traditional family structure, they would prefer to go off and travel the world and do substances and take selfie photos and all this stuff. So it's also like these modern circumstances. And then I also think there's an element of multiculturalism as well. I mean, there's too many people here. We are subsidizing the children of other racial groups. I mean, what is welfare? What are all these systems really mean? It's white people who are the only racial demographic that pay more into the system than they take out, paying for everybody else to have kids and get all these subsidized lifestyles. So it's a lot of different variables going into it. But I think the fertility crisis could be fixed with total remigration, dismantling of Jewish influence, and having government subsidized loans for white families.
Prioritizing the founding stock.
There's prioritizing the founding stock. And look, there is sort of like a ubiquitous fertility problem with all of the industrialized first world nations, including, first world nations like Japan, for example. But that's not my priority. My priority is America. I'm an American. And so that's really what I'm worried about the most is how do we reproduce more white children? And I think that we can subsidize that if our priorities are in the right place. I mean, look at how much government expenditure that we waste annually on all this BS that we all know is useless. What if we allocated that to people having families again? I think there's so many different ways we could solve this issue, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was really disappointed that the Doge thing kind of fell through. Like I wanted more cuts, more gutting of the federal government.
Yes.
And it seemed really promising at the start, and then
yes.
It's kind of.
I voted for Trump because of that, partly that and mass deportations. And when that fell through, that was the first indication that, oh yeah, this is a lie yet again. Here we go. It's never gonna work. Yeah, it's all the same playbook.
Fell for it again.
Yeah.
I don't date men anymore. I don't see them as people.
I don't believe that they should even be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
Cut it if not.
I mean,
before.
that's why we're in this situation, because they're voting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel there should be a program
They start off in jail.
Yes. Like start off in jail. Start off with no rights. You actually get none. And then you can earn them. Then a woman can say, you know what? Like, he should be allowed to maybe vote.
He's going to vote when I want him to vote.
That's how I feel. So
I actually agree with all of that only if it was applied to black people.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like black people should start in prison. No, but in reality, like these women shouldn't. Like it should be illegal for them to even speak in this manner. They shouldn't. I'm not even joking. Like when we take power, which is going to happen, we're going to take their rights away, and they will not be allowed to speak in this manner anymore.
They can't wait for that either.
Well,
They cannot wait.
I've been saying for a long time, women should have read-only access on the internet. Women should not be posting. They should not be uploading. They should be able to go online and
They should have child locks on it. I don't even know if they should be allowed to read it.
Should women even have phones? I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah, should they even be able to read? That's okay too, but maybe start weaning them off the posting and then go from there.
Ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
No.
Yeah. So this is just about the assassination attempt we talked about. That's funny. She said shots fired. We already touched on this a bit, but did you guys have any other thoughts on it? Did you look at the weird stuff with the Twitter post and all the schizo time travel stuff?
Okay, first of all, what's the time travel stuff?
Well, Candace Owen said the ancient Jesuits forced her to say this, but they told her using numerology. Remember?
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, I believe it.
See how that sounds like something she would actually say.
She said Charlie Kirk's ghost came back from the dead, and he
time traveled.
He occupied the body of that racially ambiguous ginger.
No, so I'll tell you guys what happened, since it seems like you didn't go down the hole quite as far as I did. So there's this guy who did the his name was like Cole Allen or something like this like weird mulatto quadroon, whatever he was, who tried to kill Trump. Mm-hmm. He had an internship at NASA a few years ago. A guy named like Martinez, I forget, Enriqueo Martinez or something like that, was at NASA when this guy was at NASA. This Martinez guy, he tweeted in December 2023, Cole Allen, just the name, and that was the only post on his Twitter account, right? And his header is this painting, which people figured out was from a website called timemachine.eu or some weird thing, like whatever it was. And then people figured out that if you superimpose, because like an abstract painting, if you could superimpose the picture of Trump going fight with his, and it sort of fits the pattern, it looks like it was meant to fit in there. And so that was that whole
interesting
thing.
Sounds like probably a coincidence, like most of these things are.
Yeah,
but I don't know, maybe time travel is real.
I mean, with the coincidental stuff, I mean, there could be some numerology, some symbolism, some ritualistic stuff going on. I don't know. I really don't know what to make of it. I mean, it could be some sort of satanic cabal, like a lot of people think, or it could be some weirdo modern political retardation. I don't really know. All I know, my honest answer to all of this is that it's just weird. None of this strikes me as authentic or honest. And so I sort of have my barrier up to all that. It does feel like a theater at this point, if we're being honest. I think a lot of people would agree with that. It feels like a play,
Yeah, my take on it was you shouldn't really worry about stuff like that too much, because if somebody intentionally put that stuff out there, let's say that was intentionally put out for people to find the breadcrumbs. It's what is the intent of that other than to just make you go insane? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Whoever, if somebody put that out there, they didn't do it for your own good.
It's like the cosmic retribution. They have to tell you hints of what they're going to do so they can do it guilt-free. That for whatever reason makes the most sense. It's kind of like when your kid does something wrong and then sort of kind of tells you, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that sort of thing. They feel like they can rid themselves of guilt if they, in some roundabout way, admit their transgressions. There's something to that. That shit freaks me out. Like when that guy that came on and he's like, the stakes got bigger. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Did you read his Reddit manifesto where he apologized over and over at the start to everybody's like, to all the people who were victims because I took too long. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. He didn't seem very intelligent. He was like an engineer apparently or something, but just based off of reading his manifesto is like, wow, this guy doesn't seem super bright.
The leftists always they have these weird sort of nihilistic, lazy sort of manifestos, whereas people like Ted Kaczynski or even like the Columbine, at least there was more like, I don't know what you would call
moxie.
Yeah, there's moxie, even if it's Machiavellian and wrong. I don't know. Ted Kaczynski, his manifesto was fucking like his
Also,
book was fire.
like anybody can be a fucking engineer nowadays. I mean, look, DEI, HB1s. I mean, you know, let's be real.
Yeah, well, and I think he was like he didn't have like a great job or anything like that. I kind of said like that might be, you know, I don't know. This was like, let me lay this on you. This theory that like that DEI kind of like brown man up, white man down, like that's sort of falling apart with Trump in office. And so you have these people who are like disillusioned leftoids who thought, you know, like I was, you know, I did everything the progressive regime wanted me to, but the world's not my oyster, and so they're going crazy. Do you think that could be a phenomenon that we're gonna see more of, or like you guys think we're gonna win, right? We're gonna take over. So I guess it stands to reason that as the white man ascends, or however you want to put it, you are going to have more people who thought, you know, the world was going to be their oyster kind of snap.
That's an interesting point.
Of course they are, and that should be very much expected because they're going to now get the raw end of the deal like we have, because we are going to take back what belongs to us, and we're not going to fucking apologize for it. Sorry for the profanity. I forgot you're on YouTube there. We're not gonna apologize for it. And so instinctively, as we rearrange and restore these hierarchies that have been flattened and reversed, there's going to be a lot of childlike lashing out. And a lot of these leftoid Marxist types, they do have a sort of weird, almost like lesbian kind of phenotype, a lot of them. And so I almost see that as like a dangerous child lashing out against the father. So I think that should be expected. And unfortunately, somebody like Trump or even this entire GOP administration, they don't even care about that. They are effectively, what they're doing is spiting the left and setting the building on fire as they exit stage. And so we are the ones that are going to have to contend with that, unfortunately.
I love the optimism. It's nice. I like it.
Everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great.
They're powerful because they're godly. They've got that energy. You know what I mean? It's not because we're like kind of conniving cabal. It's because we're good at what we do. And right now, your country has been welcoming to us, and it's been a blessing to you. That's why you're so big and powerful, in part, because you've blessed Israel, and Israel's blessed you back. And here's my question to Nick Fuentes. Let's say you're right. The Jews are powerful. They've always been powerful. And so what? What's your proof that that is a bad thing? Because it's not your thing? Because it's not controlled by, I don't know, you're a Catholic, by the Catholic Church. Like what's your point? You guys had your chance for 2,000 years.
So you got
migration.
Here's multiculturalism, open borders. Like how's Jews being in power bad? How much time you got, man?
I know for a certainty that we are going to win, and not just because of the natural law stuff that we talk about, but because I think we actually have a strategic advantage as a people. Jews are very arrogant. They are very arrogant as a people, and I see video clips like this. They are outwardly drunk on their own power. And when you are drunk on power, you really start to lose sight of your blind spots. And I think that's going to be a huge vulnerability for them going forward. And so I almost prefer our disadvantaged position in that we can sort of approach this power struggle with a little bit more humility, which is, you know, what we are as European people. So, I mean, look, he's right. Jews are intelligent, and a lot of the Wignat retards get mad when we say that. No, they are smart, they are loyal to each other, they are very organized, and that's part of what we should emulate as white people. And so, I mean, a lot of what he's saying is true. I still don't think that means that we can't win, though, overall.
Is it my fault? Is it my fault that the Pope, the last Pope was woke? Is it my fault that Rome does not control the world anymore? What do you want? We're back. We're strong. I don't understand your point. What's your point? That Jews are powerful? Okay. But where's the bad in that? What, Rome is gone? It's gone. What is your assessment exactly? Let's say Jews are powerful. Duh. Like whoop-de-doo. That's not a big news flash. Where's your assessment? Where's your proof that that's bad?
In Europe and in the United Kingdom, ignoble, parasitic disposition. It's off-putting, to say the least. I cannot stand.
We are Rome too, by the way. We are.
Well,
Rome.
it's just like this, it's the same when you talk with like just people, just white guys who defend Jews and they don't like anti-Semitism, and they do this same kind of thing of like, okay, well, yeah, you point to some problems and they're like, well, there's problem people in every race kind of thing, and it's very hard to get some people to sort of see the wider picture and the pattern there. But
yeah, it's very clear. Total remigration.
Yeah. All right, we are gonna do super chats. I think I'm gonna skip over this. What's his name?
Russell.
He's going to trial for Russell Brand. He's going to trial for October. And, I guess good luck to him with that. This is like this weird Instagram racism that is spreading around all the time, and it's a whole new like world, and it feels like when I see this stuff, I think like, okay, this is like a little cringe, but I guess this is what it feels like to be winning. I guess this is what it feels like to have your worldview go mainstream and become cool, and people start like doing it just for clout and attention. I mean, it's kind of funny the way he's mugging for the camera and that, but
yeah,
it's surreal.
It is surreal, but I don't see this as indicative of us winning, because this is gay. Like, it's like stuff like this makes me and my brother look bad, and I don't want to be. I guess the Chud the Builder thing would be different because there is actually value in that, like the Overton window stuff. But something like this is just doing it for what? First of all, anybody who calls themselves Goy or Goyim is a faggot. Like, what you're doing is subconsciously subscribing to the paradigm of a group of people that hate you and want to enslave you. So like, right. I get it. It's like an ironic, tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, but it's super gay. It's like, what does this actually accomplish at the end of the day?
Well, it's an artifact of the circumstance that we find ourselves in. It's indulgent in some sort of way. I don't like it. And also the guy's brown, so deport.
Yeah. I guess like if the devil's advocate argument I would make for calling yourself Goyim, which I don't do, maybe here and there as a joke, but it's not like a regular thing or whatever. But it's just like putting that word out there and people hear it and they're like, wait, what is a Goyim? And then they're like, oh, that's like a slur that Jews have for us. Like, wait a minute.
Instead of telling people about the Talmud or about Goyim, we just got to take our young men and put them into the Storm Division. That's what we got to do.
Because the true JQ is the RQ, which is the race question. Like, once people did, and this is where people like Dan Bilzerian seem to get hung up. And granted, he's acknowledged black crime and stuff, but they look into the JQ and they say, well, it's all the Jews. Yeah, but what are the Jews doing? The Jews are doing exactly that which they teach us not to do, and that's why they're winning. I understand that they're intelligent, but they are tribal. They're tribal, and they're loyal to one another. And we are white. We're individualist, and that is being subverted against us. So we need to literally just do what they do, and we will do it better when we do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was another clip I saw like this. It was like a guy's ad for his car parts store, and he has like a guy come in dressed up like a happy merchant. He's like, "Oh, I need 6 million parts," and he's like, "Oh, best I can do is 270,000," and it's like so corny, and it's like an ad for his, You know, or I don't know if you saw like the dual girl that was going viral on Twitter the other week, where she's like throwing up slurs and she has like the spitting swastika behind her, but it's like she's for that the gambling like poker or whatever black whatever it is, and it's like so there you have these gambling sites are using racism to promote their brands and get people like get viral attention. And that's what I meant by like this weird aspect of winning culturally, because like I've been on a while, I've been like, we need to sort of like normalize racism and make it this thing that is just like culturally acceptable and people don't clutch their pearls about and all that. And then you see like, wait a minute, they're like using it to like sell gambling or whatever. You're like,
well,
hold
part
on.
of it is that people are normalizing racism against Jews, which is easier to do because A, everybody doesn't like Jews, and B, there's barely any Jews, so the likelihood of you running into one and you know it's a Jew and he knows you don't like Jews is so little. Whereas if you're actually a racist, that's actually a bet. That's a real bet. You know, you're staking something in that. You know, and that's the ultimate conclusion for me is when you learn about the JQ, you're just learning about their racism. They're applying racism selectively to win. So the real red pill is doing that yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, deep this going. You know what? I'm joining the never mind. Okay, whatever this is, I don't like it either.
What is this? This should be punishable.
Yeah, this is not. Go ahead though. Sorry.
This is Twitch. This is I had a feeling you guys weren't going to agree with this one.
Is it a real person or AI? Oh,
that's
no.
a real person, and then that's her like human slave there. That she's got. So
of course it's a white man.
This is a Twitch streamer, and this is like her bit she's doing where she has a human slave, and people were kind of upset about this, like the Twitch sphere, which I don't really pay attention to, but they were like, you know, maybe this is too far. Maybe this is too like fetishistic.
Well, this is a caricature of society right now. This is what you see when you go outside, when you turn on Netflix. This is just a caricaturization of what is actually happening. It's men with their little tails tucked between their legs in a gimp suit while some hot woman treats them like they're subservient to her, because ultimately they are in the way that society is currently structured. Women have all the power.
I guarantee you, if I was in that shot, I walk up there and just smack the shit out of her, and she would love it. She would love it because it's like he said, it is an inversion of everything that used to make sense. Look.
Or she wouldn't.
What else? What could even be said at this point? It is just like a microcosm of fallen America. And we're going to have to bring witch burnings back in the near future. That'll help in a lot of ways. But I mean, what can be said? This is disgusting.
It is gross. Like I've lost my appetite.
So the CEO of Twitch, he responded to the calls for action or whatever, and he said that as far as he was concerned, that this appears to be consensual, and he actually praised her innovation and said that we like it when our streamers bring new techniques to new things. So I don't know if he's Jewish. I don't know that guy.
He's spiritually
he's like an old guy, and there's some stuff about him like.
Okay, where were we?
With streamers and all that, but again, it's not really my world, which is like a whole different.
Hi, Sky.
It's the fall of Rome, LP.
But it's like, I mean, that's the double standard. Is like what that chud guy can't say nigger to black people, but this woman can do whatever. I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous. How more degenerate do we have to be as a society for people to be like, all right, let's try something new? I mean.
Well, the individualist libertarian white guy would be like, wow, it's consensual. Don't ask, don't tell. It's freedom. It's like, no, dude, it's not working. Yeah. It's not working.
Yeah. No, I know. Well, the libertarianism thing, not to go off on that too much, but I have a guy, JF Gary Epi. I don't know if you know him, but he's a libertarian. He calls us. And years ago, I said to him, so like JF, like, if some woman, if I want to take my kids for like a walk on the waterfront and there's a woman there like twerking for her Instagram, Like, what is the libertarian response to that? Because I don't want women twerking in public in front of my kids for their Instagram.
Well, you can
And
write a
he's-
bill and
oh,
send it to
so
the
you-
House,
so
and
you
they
just
can
feel
go
like
through the
live in
legal
the-
process, and the Congress can vote on it, and it's going to be this meritocracy where there's no selective interest groups or money or lobbying, and everything works through the. It's just it's all got to crumble, LP. It just does. Welcome to America. You came right before the collapse. Welcome.
I saw this one.
Yeah, this one's. No,
they're all together. When I did my show on Sunday, where like I have like a clip show where it's just these clips with no talking or anything, and right before this one, it was like a montage of Nazi Germany, and it was playing like a prayer, the Madonna, like the choral one. It's like really beautiful and inspiring, and you're looking at all these people and they love Hitler and they got like their cool banners and that, and then it cuts to this and you're like, man,
what does that say? What's the translation? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know what it says.
Okay.
Allays, California Uber Allays. What does that mean? I don't really speak German.
You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
I haven't eaten in 3 days, but I'm kind of glad because something like this really disrupts my appetite. It really, I mean, goodness gracious, what are we doing here? And
it's always with the race mixing and the degeneracy and that, you know.
And the guy himself is he's like black, Asian, Turkic.
He's leaning into it. Look
weird.
at that. He's like it's not even just a neutral threesome, whatever. He's leaning into it.
Right.
It's worse.
A-okay.
Okay, it's over. It's over.
A-okay. All that really meant was, hey, see this? It's all good. That's what that's. I don't even have to read German. It's just like, it's all good, dog.
She is so cute, and I don't even like kids, but I like her.
Thanks for talking to me all the time.
Did she give me a gift?
Ta-da!
Is this supposed to be when we first boarded the tram?
Uh-huh. I drew it. It's for you.
Oh, what do you mean? I love it. It's so cute. But she hung it up. She hung.
Yeah, people in the chat want to know why you haven't eaten for 3 days, and now that they say that, it dawns on me that's kind of a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a 7-day water fast right now as a test of willpower. But what the hell is going on in this clip? I'm lost.
Okay, so this is a new video game that people were talking about on X a lot, because you have there's this little girl character that you're like the male protector of. It's that trope that we've seen in other games, but
Okay.
the girl is like very cute. And so there's kind of two things that people are saying about this game. The one is that they're saying is that it's like a pro-natalist thing that's going to make women want to have kids.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, and then the other thing they're saying is that it's like a game made for pedophiles because the girl is like too cute or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So adorable.
Yeah.
If it was a black girl, everybody would be advocating for it.
True. Okay, I mean that's interesting. I don't know.
I mean, if it's pro-natalist for white people, I mean, all right, it's a start. Propaganda's propaganda.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually gonna I don't know, man. If you don't want kids, I say this all the time, like I can't even like wrap my head around it, like I can't even understand just not wanting kids. I don't get it.
I would highly agree. It's like not wanting to eat or not wanting to have sex.
I get like people don't want the responsibility and they're worried about the money and stuff like that, but it's like
nobody wants responsibility. Do it.
These are awesome.
Somebody said, where are we going to deport these kinds of white people to? I don't think we have to deport a lot of these whites. I think a lot of them just have to be subjugated after the Marxist opposition is crushed. That would be my answer. Please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people will fall in line once here's my thoughts on that, and I've said this before, but it's like loving your own people and being a bit racist. I think that's like the natural state of man. And so people are like very neurotic these days because they've had that beaten out of them, and they have to like maintain this constant facade of pretending like everything's equal, and like, like there's like black people aren't violent, they don't commit a lot of crime, or what, this, that, or the other thing. And it's like, once it's like socially acceptable to let go of that, I think people are going to be less neurotic, they're going to be happier, and things are just going to kind of start to fall into place in a lot of cases. There's some people who are, really far gone, and they're not necessarily ever going to change, but
And
that's
people
my
don't want to see migrants getting deported, but once 60 million people go, and after 6 months' time, they see how great life is, they'll be like, oh, well, yeah, I guess I'm okay with this. People don't even think for themselves. They'll just fall right in line.
Yeah, I guess just to clarify, I don't like doing the virtue signaling thing very much, but look, our rhetoric admittedly can be a little bit aggressive at times, but the real reason why my brother and I are doing this is because we care. We think that we look around, I see people are miserable. They're living in this weird state. Everybody's coping, everybody's lying to each other. Society is degenerating rapidly. We have to offer a alternative that is in alignment with the way that God designed us to live. So that really is the motivation. I don't know if that applies strictly here, but I mean, just to respond there a little bit, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just think, my point I'm just trying to say is like a lot of these people who are currently, they would feign horror if they heard us talking. Like once the majority people talk like this, they're just going to like fall right in line, and then they're going to be happier. They're going to be like, oh, cool, I don't have to pretend.
We have to make it sexy. We have to make racism sexy again, and it's going to work. It's going to work.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is the last clip, and then we'll do super chats. This is, and I sort of alluded to this one too, which is, this is a guy who the FBI showed up at his house. I watched it. It was like an hour-long video. I watched this whole video, but
the whole thing's an hour. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Here with the username Incel Revolution soon.
Yeah.
I'm having you talk about how all women need to be masculine.
No. What?
Total Jewish bring it forth now. Kill them all. Lefties.
I don't know how much you guys would believe me, but on my end, that's just emotional banter.
A white male. Oh, a white male. He's so scary. What is wrong with you
You come
people?
up with one that's
Nobody could have reported me. Yeah, because they're terrorists that have access and spy on people with the Patriot Act.
Okay.
You need to watch yourself. I don't care. I can say all of this. This is free speech.
Okay. Saying the online, incel revolution, saying total whatever, it's don't do that, but also this is where things are headed.
Listen, my young white brother, don't get yourself in trouble. Like, get a lawyer, but look, well, I mean, it's what you just said.
Total remigration.
Yeah.
I like him. He's a young. How old is he? He's like 19 or some shit.
I think 18. I think 18.
I mean, come on, bro.
His username is
Incel Revolution. Yeah. The comments on the YouTube video were bleak. Where people love to pile on a guy like this and be like, look at this little loser. Like, he lives with his parents. Like, he's never been disciplined in his life. Like, it was a lot of that sort of boomerish, everybody's shitting on the kid. And that was kind of a shame. It's
right.
We gotta like, look, man, this is, a lot of people aren't going to have the stomach for what's coming. If you can't handle some banter online, some rhetoric that is maybe distasteful or whatever, you're not gonna have the stomach for what's coming. What we're talking about, like the total remigration thing, and so it's frustrating when you see those kinds of comments being all being everywhere all over that video, which if you look at that video, that's how it is. And
right.
Yeah.
But it's like you guys said too, like people are watching, you know, and if you think it's bad now with Trump in office, wait until the Democrats get back in. And you're saying stuff like that in your Discord group or whatever, they really will throw the book at you. They really will come after you, and you got to be smart and careful.
Yes, and after that cycle happens, we will then get everything we desire. But when I look at a video clip like that and I see this older generation dunking on them, it really disappoints me because the attitude we should have, instead of looking at this person and judging them, especially if it's of our kin, we should say, okay, wait a minute. Why is this young man saying this? Why does he feel this way? There has to be some level of validation to the way that these people feel. At every turn, our young white men are being turned away and saying, well, you're wrong just for feeling that way. No. These young guys that call themselves incels, they're disillusioned, they're hurting in some way, and that needs to be acknowledged. And look, it's not a threat, but it is to say you keep pushing these people around, there's going to be a reciprocation at some point, you know? So we have to stop being so dismissive of people and being so numb all the time. Like there's a reason why somebody's feeling this way. It's not just a random event. So I'm not saying you should say the things that he said. You should never say those things, you know, be
impulse control.
Have impulse control, be a white person, right? But look, dismissing it is not going to make it go away. So that's what it is.
That's right, Rick. That's right, Kurt.
All right. You guys ready for some super chats?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, let's see. Flood sent $10. Thanks, man. Do you guys know Flood? You know that guy?
Sounds great. Sounds like a swell chat.
He said, don't forget to make your 30 shorts tonight, that's a joke about the Rumble creator program. I don't know if you guys are on Rumble, but are you guys on Rumble?
No, I've heard about the shorts. That's where we stream. So they do shorts now. Why 30? Is there a thing with that number?
So are you guys in the creator program, the Rumble creator thing? It's pretty good. I've only been in it 1 month, but I made $600 the first month. You kind of get paid for showing up. Yeah.
Really?
But,
how did we apply for that?
If you make 30 shorts in a month, you also get an additional bonus, which I have not done my shorts.
We'll start doing that right away.
We will certainly look into that. Thank you for looking out, Mr. Was it Flood?
Thank you, Flood. Are you monetized on YouTube, by the way, LP?
I am. I've been remonetized for about 6 months after a 3-year demonetization. I've been monetized and demonetized about 4 times over because I've been doing this for 10 years, so it's been on and off. And I just got off a 3-year, and I'm really happy about that because I'm making a couple grand a month, give or take, which helps.
Good for you.
Helps.
Yeah, we're currently not monetized, but hopefully we can soon. So we'll see.
Yeah, thanks for looking out.
All right, and let's see here. Okay, let me go to entropy. Donnie B says, were these young gentlemen homeschooled and are either of their parents religious? Well, it's the same parents because they're brothers, but
no and no. No, our parents were religious before they had us. And then they became sort of secular, sort of libertarian kind of people. And that's how we were raised, essentially, sort of secular libertarian, culturally Christian, but secular libertarian.
Our bloodline does have deeply Christian roots, though. Our 8th great grandfather signed the golden tablets shoulder to shoulder with Joseph Smith, which is kind of cool. So we do have that in our blood. But we weren't raised that way, though. No, we had to kind of discover it on our own. Yeah.
You went to public school?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, we went to public school in a mostly white area, though, so we weren't really radicalized until we were in our late 20s, right?
Yeah, I was raised totally secular, and I grew up in a small town in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, up in Canada. Small white town, very white, and I was totally basically just a normal libtard for a long time until I got on the internet. I saw everybody shitting on white people. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
What's with the music? Like, what do you guys play, or what kind of music do you make?
We made music for like 10 years. He plays fingerstyle guitar now. I can play guitar, drums, But I'm a music producer, so I produced online, and he's been an artist and a songwriter for a long time. He was a poet even before that, and we created music for a long time. I create a lot of EDM, like house and dubstep, under Hurting Murphy, the moniker. He does everything under Jackson Price, and then we have our collective stuff, FroJax. We only released 3 songs under FroJax so far, but honestly, as far as style, we're pretty diverse, I would say. A lot of hip hop, a lot of EDM.
R&B, pop, electronic. I play fingerstyle guitar. I mean, we do a lot of different things. We kind of have our own thing going on. But if anybody's curious, he has the Hurdy Murphy catalog. I have the Jackson Price catalog, and we have a few FroJax songs too. We'll probably bring that back at some point. But with AI and like all the stuff that I see you talking about as well, we were like, well, let's pivot to talk about something a little bit more important. So that's kind of what our trajectory has been.
And there's a demand for it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm grateful you guys are doing it. I love it. Let me see here. Power chats. Okay. Big fans of the FroJax bros. This is coming from Metalhead86, and he says, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of like UK rap. Most of my favorite rappers are just like white British people. Whites and Jews, and it's uncommon opinion, but whites and Jews are the best rappers. Hate to break it to the black people. All these wig nats are always like, you guys like rap, that's wigger stuff. It's like whites and Jews make way better rap than black people even do. So whatever.
I'm kind of weird. I listen to some fingerstyle guitar. I listen to like ASMR history. I listen to Christmas music, sometimes, right?
Right.
And then like Hitler as well. I'd like sprinkle some of that in there too. And
Christmas music and Hitler, Jingle Bells, and then Mein Kampf.
Yeah, and then like our stuff as well. So I try to switch.
I was a metalhead for a long time. I'll throw on some metal, some Acacia Strain, Chelsea Granatilla, and then some like EDM dubstep, Jekyll and Hyde, Peekaboo, that kind of shit.
Nice. Okay, Ghost Dog Man said, I Hypocrite, FroJax collab. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, Ghost Dog Man.
Gabber says, recent trend, brown people find putting plastic bags or bottles in the oil makes their plantains crispier. I did see that. There was one video of an African woman and she was like, and I've seen people like, have you seen the videos where the black guys are like, cooking hot dogs and they leave it in the package, they just throw it on the barbecue in the plastic?
Oh no.
It's so crazy and counterintuitive because you hear all these stories about how we have like microplastics.
Yeah, we have it just from them being in the plastic.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like touch receipts or whatever. These guys are just like straight up like, I'm just gonna like fry my hot.
These are the folks, they eat mud cookies and they massage their testicles to get the urine out. I mean, this is just kind of what they do.
And it works too.
I mean, what can I say that already hasn't been said? Total remigration.
Yeah. All right. Anonymous says, I asked my mom sports and MSM watching mom. Okay. Let me start over. I asked my sports and MSM watching mom how many blacks were. She guessed 50%. It's misinformed women who hate learning the truth.
50% of what?
I think he's saying he asked her how many in America, like what percentage of America she thought was black, and she said 50%. And it's because of their overrepresentation on TV and commercials and stuff.
And they're very loud, so that makes sense.
Yes.
They're overrepresented in volume.
Yeah. So same with gays. Like if you watch TV and you ask somebody what like percentage do you think of gays, they'd probably say like 25%.
I know.
Insane. Yeah, that's what about trans? I mean, that's kind of, they push that a lot too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know if you don't see as many on TV, but you see it a lot on social media, that's for sure. All right, Wandering Neanderthal says they're that wrong while also being more highly educated than ever before in history. I think that might be from okay, sorry. These are we're done. Those last two were from my yesterday show. Let me check. I didn't miss any. Some people bought some subscriptions. Thanks for buying those, guys.
How do you do super chats? Do you do them through YouTube or do you have like a separate thing?
I take them through YouTube, through Rumble, through Power Chat.
Oh, okay. So you do it all.
Yeah, whatever works. I like Power Chat because it's good for like I don't do the text to speech and all that when I have guests on, but it's fun when I'm just doing my show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We just got a $20 donation. Mr. Goybens says feral foids need spanking. Yes, prepare your arsenal of paddles, sir.
The great cultural spanking awaits.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I think I got all the super chats as far as I can tell. Thanks. No, wait, there was like, I swear I saw $100 one from Titan at the start of the show. What happened to that?
Titan.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He really supports well, thank you, Titan. I don't know if it would have been on Power Chat, I think. Yeah.
How much of your chat is brown people trying to make sure they make it in the new Renaissance?
How much of my chat is brown people trying to make sure they make it? Well, we got Revelator, we got Manny Quintero, we got a couple characters in the I Hypocrite verse who are like they like to call in on my call-in shows and that. But
oh yeah.
it's hard to say the percentage wise.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
Womp womp.
Okay, guys, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the show.
Cool.
Big thank you to the FroJax bros. Love what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Make sure you guys subscribe. So I did put links for the YouTube channel and the Twitter account. What else would you guys recommend? Do you do like Rumble only shows where you cut loose more?
Yeah, we cut loose on Rumble. We start usually on YouTube and Rumble. Honestly, we may just do like the multi-stream thing soon and run it on X and everything, but we've been getting decent traction on Rumble. Like we get 200-300 concurrent viewers usually there. So if you want to catch us on Rumble, we stream 2 to 3 nights a week. We start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We're live right now.
We're live right now on Rumble. You can come subscribe there, see all our videos. The YouTube FroJax Official's good, and then Instagram. And then Twitter at FroJax _ FROJX. Same with Instagram. You'll see us. If you're red pilled, you'll see us on Instagram.
Yeah, we're everywhere, and you might get to vote for us in 2032. But thank you for having us on the show today, sir. God bless you and your family.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I just followed you guys on Rumble too because I'm trying to like raid people. I'm trying to like follow as many cool people as I can so I can send
back. Oh, and FroJax.net, by the way, if you want to be true Wang half.
If you want to get We Was Kangs,
it's reverse. Repeal the 19th.
FroJax.net.
All right, guys. Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. Super chatters.
Take it easy.
Catch you on the flip side.
Total Aryan victory. Check out FroJax.net.